welcome to the 35th episode of the Backburners. I'm Dylan Sherman.
I'm Miles Walton, a.k.a. the Front Right Burner.
And I'm Sam Tiller, and we want to thank you for lending your ears for another hour of non-stop sports entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we start tonight's episode with Zoom background of the week?
Nope. Let's just skip over it.
Yes, we should.
All right, and let's not forget our wonderful producer Fabio. How you doing, Fabio?
Doing good.
You could go straight into the ad too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff we could do before this.
No, go ahead. Backwards hat guy.
Yep, that's me. Backwards hat guy checking in. All right, so tonight I actually got to meet someone pretty cool. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion. His name is Troy Aikman.
Oh, shit.
You.
Are you fucking serious?
You. Yes.
That's
I met
real?
Troy Aikman tonight. Yes,
what the
real.
fuck?
That was 25 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
Should have had him on the pod.
Hat guy scored.
Wow.
All right, so
where did you meet him?
Look at the height difference.
I know,
Yeah, dude, he's big.
Yeah. So Kayleen and Jordan and I were at dinner, and this was like at, I don't know, 6:37. I dropped them off at a bar because I came back here and to get ready for the pod. Jordan and Kayleen all weekend, they've been getting free drinks because they're girls, and people are just handing them free drinks. And Jordan texted me as soon as I got home, and she was like, "Hey, we're at this bar and we got free drinks because some football players here." And I was like, "Who's the football player?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "It was like an old Cowboys player named Troy Aikman." And I was like,
"Oh my God!"
So
They didn't know the name.
Nope.
I mean, like,
three-time Super Bowl champion.
I don't know shit about sports, but if you said the name, I would have known that's like a pro football player. I should probably meet.
She said Troy Aikman, and so I was literally about to hop in the shower, so I threw clothes back on, drove back down to the bar, walked in, took this picture, walked out, came back here.
Wow.
Just to dunk on you.
That's insane. Dude, I would have done the same thing. Like, you can't not go to a bar and meet Troy Aikman. Are you kidding me?
I know. That's what
3-time Super Bowl champion.
Are you serious?
NFL Hall of Famer. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Did he look super?
Yeah,
shut up. Did he look super stoned like he generally does?
He didn't look super stoned.
Okay.
He's got that like old money look to him where he's just a little red, works out a lot.
Yeah. He's a very tall drink of water.
Damn.
Very tall drink of water.
That's wild.
Was he getting fucked up at the bar, or was he just there to just wave his dick around a little bit?
I think he's like he just launched a beer.
Okay.
Is what Jordan was saying. So I think he was there to maybe a soft launch. Yeah.
Damn.
So,
well, that might be the coolest and best background we get.
Yeah, it definitely.
I think it's
unless you can meet a higher, more famous and current celebrity football player, I guess.
Like Tom Brady.
Unless I find Matthew McConaughey down here.
Or Joe Rogan.
That might be the best thing that ever happens to you in Austin.
Probably.
It happened in the first month, which is kind of disappointing.
It's all downhill from here.
It is.
Your head is blocking Troy Aikman, though.
That's super cool, though.
Yeah, put your head over your head.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Right there. Yep.
Right there?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll try.
I don't need to see two of you and none of Troy.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
You could just tilt your computer or move your seat instead of just like sitting
awkwardly leaning. There you go.
Wow.
There you
go. There we go.
It's perfect.
Innovation that excites.
Innovation that truly excites.
Wow.
Shall we?
All right. Well, I'm officially jelly.
Yeah.
Did you invite him on the podcast? Be like, hey, I'm recording a podcast in like 25 minutes. You want to come on?
I was driving down to the bar and I was rehearsing like, "Hey Troy, I have a sports podcast interview," but like he was in the middle of talking to somebody. Like when I asked him to take the picture, and he like was like, "Fine." So I was not about to, like, "Hey, say for the birds." So I didn't.
What you should have done is you should have just said that you couldn't make the podcast tonight, and then just called in over FaceTime. And then just been like, "Hey, look where I am," and then just flash the camera and just a quick appearance.
No, I had a whole plan and then I bailed.
Yeah, I don't think I would have actually
asked
him to do anything. I mean, even asking for a picture is scary enough.
Yeah, he was like down to take the picture, but then I was like, I kind of read like I was definitely not about to ask him to like take a video or anything. But
Do you want to come back to my apartment and record my podcast with
me? How does 600 square feet of pure paradise?
me? Actually, our show's looking for sponsors too. If that beer company needs some more exposure,
Yeah.
Because I bet you we can offer more than you can.
Oh my God, let's get into the episode. God, do we want to kick it off with intern report? Or do you want to go straight into Are You Serious? Because there's a lot of Are You Seriousness.
Let's just do the intern report.
All right.
Get it done.
Get it done with. The women's national team, USWNT, they got a massive payout today. 6 years, $24 million for equal pay compensation. That was huge, like groundbreaking this morning. And then in the world of college basketball, Gonzaga stays at number 1, Arizona up to 2, Auburn down to 3, Purdue and Kansas at 4 and 5. The Ducks almost knocked off Arizona.
Yeah, it was tight.
It was a close game.
Oh.
It's weird. They play well against good opponents and then suck against bad teams.
Yeah.
It's like a Pac-12 curse. I was talking to you about it
yesterday.
Yeah.
The Pac-12 loves to do that.
Well, yeah, it's the Pac-12. No matter what sport it is, they always self-cannibalize.
Yeah.
Whether it's Utah, Oregon, SC, somebody's hot and then they lose to like Stanford and their playoff dreams are ruined. Yeah, I mean, let's see what else. In the world of PGA, Joaquin Niemann wins the Genesis Open. We have the Honda Classic next weekend. And the MLB lockout, the first week of spring training games have been canceled.
Yeah, I doubt that season starts on time. It doesn't seem like they're anywhere close to an agreement. So
no chance it starts on time. All right. How about a little Are You Serious? Who wants to kick this one off? Wait, ad.
Oh, shoot. Yep.
How could you forget?
I know. Sorry. I was so distracted by Troy. All right. Do you need to find a new place to live that is actually within your budget? Looking for a place to live adds stress to your already busy life? Chillo is here to cure that headache. Introducing the Chillo app, a place to find a rental home and roommates on the same platform. Simply create your profile, check out the rental listings available, message the verified lister, and tour the new place. Have a place available for rent? Listed on Chillo with the same ease. And for a limited time, Chillo will donate $1 to Catch Idaho, a local nonprofit dedicated to ending homelessness in Idaho. Find your next place to live on Chillo. Download in the iOS App Store today.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Quick and smooth.
Quick and smooth. Mama, what do you got for Are You Serious?
So if anyone didn't see this, Michigan college basketball head coach Juwan Howard was suspended for 5 games after he basically punched one of the assistants at Wisconsin. After the game, they got in a little bit of a tussle. Looked like a lot of arguing, and then Juwan just kind of threw his hand out there. And I'm pretty surprised they only suspended him for 5 games.
Yeah.
When you're the coach, like you're the role model, you're the light, and you're not supposed to. That's not acceptable. Like, if that was my decision, he'd be fired, and they just decided to suspend him for 5 games. And the crazy part is they have 5 games left. They're on the bubble of making the tournament, and 3 of their next 5 games are all ranked teams. So it could really hurt him coming down to the end here.
Yeah, and it's not the first time that he's had an outbreak like this either.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, he's never, like, hit another coach, but he's, like, known for, like, running onto the court and, like, getting in officials' faces and kind of getting in heated exchanges with other coaches. So it's a pattern of hot-headedness from him, and I think the ice is very, very thin at this point.
Yeah, I don't think he should be there. They might just be like trying to make the tournament, hold on to him to see how they do in the tournament, and then fire him.
Yeah,
we'll see,
like just fire him after the season.
Yeah, just to see if they can save their season. But they're not having a good season either, so it's not like he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with him being a former player, especially at the level that he was. I think it's sometimes hard to maybe separate those two identities, especially when your first career was as a player and now you're a coach. I think some of those habits may still trickle down. What was interesting was I think that the Wisconsin coach is going to be suspended. I don't think Wisconsin has announced the number of games. But
the assistant coach that got hit?
Yeah, I think because he was still involved. I mean, even though he was the one who got hit.
I think
he's going to be suspended.
Juwan pretty hard. It looked like he was doing a lot of the bad talking, and that's when Juwan came with the hit. But
yeah, I think it was like at the end of the game when they were shaking hands. I think the coach, that Wisconsin coach, grabbed him or got in his face, and Juwan said, "Don't touch me." But Wisconsin, the athletic director came out and said that the school is going to be covering his fine, which is interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's no place for that, but also bring violence back in basketball.
Bring back the malice in the palace.
Bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not something you see in modern day sports, especially at the college level.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit by the players. That's just being competitive. But when you're a role model as a coach and you're supposed to be setting the standard, you don't do that.
Especially college. These are 20-year-old kids that you're working with too.
Exactly.
It's they don't know the precedent, I guess. If you start fighting people, then they're going to think it's way okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And then now if one of his players, decides to throw hands at another player or a coach, he has zero ground to stand on.
Exactly.
Right? He can't be like, you can't do that. But they'll be like, why? You did it. I mean, it gives validation for his players to be more aggressive.
It was interesting to see what set it all off because I was reading, it was the end of the game. Michigan was down. They lost by 15. Michigan still had their starters in it, and Wisconsin put in they emptied their bench. And so all the bench players were playing, and Michigan was doing full court press. So I think Wisconsin called a timeout to tell the bench players hey, get your shit together. You're doing full court press. Just run the break. And that timeout, I think, pissed off Juwan Howard.
Yeah. And so the rule is you have 10 seconds to get it across the half court line. But when you call a timeout, that 10 seconds gets refreshed. So he was pissed they didn't get the ball back, which is just stupid because he doesn't know the fucking rule.
And they were down 15.
Exactly. With a minute left, you're not coming back.
Yeah, it was over. It was way over.
Yeah. Yeah, bizarre.
Just stupid.
Yeah, super, super bizarre.
If you're a coach, don't punch people.
That should be
don't punch people, period.
Right. Especially if you're a coach. Oh, man.
What do you got, Samuel?
Some interesting college football news came out this weekend. I think it was Saturday. But I got a Bleacher Report notification that said Arizona State players trash Jaden Daniels' locker. And I was like, oh, okay, it's just a prank or something, whatever. No. Jaden Daniels transfers, and to say the least, his former teammates now, were super not happy. And when they found out, they went into the locker room and trashed his stuff, and one of them live streamed it on Instagram. And you can hear him say, that dude sucks anyways. And he doesn't. He's had
very good.
36 touchdowns last year. He's a pretty damn good quarterback. He's not an NFL quarterback, but he's a good college quarterback. Just wild. I mean, college football players transfer all the time. And when that happens, I'm sure teammates are upset and mad, but you never see anything like this happen. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
So does he know, has he officially transferred somewhere, or is he just in the portal?
No,
still?
he's just in the portal.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's only been a couple days.
So he still currently goes to school there?
He probably dropped out.
Yeah.
Would be my
It'd
guess.
just be funny if he's still on campus just with a target on his back right now. You know how scared
Yeah.
I'd be to leave my house after seeing the video of the locker and all my teammates. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not leaving for a while.
Yeah, and those are all your friends, right? And it's
Yeah, those were your brothers last week,
exactly.
and then now they hate you.
Yeah, now it's oh, you're probably never going to talk to them again.
That's why transferring in college is a pussy-ass move. That's just my thought.
Yeah, it's just, it was wild.
Well, like the sports transfership, not transferring in college for actual college reasons, but just playing sports and then being drafted to another college like we're in the fucking NFL, I think is stupid.
I mean, they're basically pro athletes now.
Yeah,
I know,
it's
but
definitely
you
not
made it. You made a
draft, though.
commitment. You talked to that coach. You signed up for something 4 years ago.
I like your take.
That's just crazy.
Where
that
was
they-
this when we debated this like a month ago?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's just crazy.
I was
that
on
they
board.
live streamed it.
Yeah, the
Well,
live
I mean,
stream's bad.
come on.
Well,
It's a
okay,
college
but like
kid. They're
if you're gonna,
stupid.
yeah, I get that maybe, but if you're gonna trash someone's locker that bad, like
Especially the sports
don't
players, like they already
fucking
tell
live
them,
stream it, then maybe they won't know it's you.
and they already tell the sports players too to like watch their social media and like be careful what they post and all that stuff. And they're
Yeah.
just like, you know what, fuck this kid, and they just went off.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the
ASU
coaches
it's
do
a
about
disaster.
Yeah.
ASU's had a bunch of coaches, I think, fired for recruiting allegations, and like there's been like 5 assistants that were let go. So Herm Edwards, tighten your ship, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, the Nook boys are going there this weekend, so that's good.
that. Oh, great.
Perfect.
That'll be low key.
I asked my brother if they were going to hit him up, and he was like, absolutely not. Every fraternity those guys hang out with just burns in hell the next day. Like, it's just like everything they touch gets destroyed. We want no part of the Nook boys. And I was like, yeah, that makes a lot
That's
of
really
sense,
smart.
honestly.
Yeah. All right, Sherm.
All right. For my Are You Serious? So we had the All-Star game over the weekend, the NBA All-Star game. And with that, the NBA's 75th anniversary team was announced. There were a couple of rankings that were a tad questionable, I would say. I'll highlight a couple. Number one, Kobe Bean Bryant not being in the top 5. He's at number 10.
It's not like he's
I
just
don't
not
know.
in the top 5 either. It's not like he's 6. He's 10.
Yeah.
No,
which is
he's
insane.
10.
It's disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
That man has 5 titles. And as much as I love Tim Duncan and as dominant as Tim Duncan was, 10 out of 10 times I'm taking Kobe Bryant over Tim Duncan.
Yes.
I don't think that's a hot take. Another one that I found really interesting was Bill Russell at number 6 and Wilt Chamberlain at number 5. Now, mind you, yes, there was a season where Wilt still averaged 50 points a game, right? Which is absurd. But Bill Russell had 11 championships and Wilt had 2. And then you have a little guy named Stephen Curry. You ever heard of him?
The man who changed the face of basketball.
This little
the
little
greatest
name.
shooter that will ever exist in the history of the world at 16.
It's bold.
Really?
This might be a little
Yeah.
bold. You have KD at 12. I think I would take Steph over KD. As much as I love KD and is great, KD might be the greatest non-shooting scorer of all time.
Non-shooting
It's
scorer.
Steph Curry.
No, that
Non-3-point.
I knew what you meant. I
Yeah.
knew what you meant. But
yeah, he's just a pure scorer. Like
Right.
his all-around game is fantastic.
Right, but the fact that they put KD over Steph, I just don't know about that one. So I mean, listen. At the end of the day, so there were it was voted on by a mix of players and media and coaches. It's an impossible task, and I think I'm not a fan of like these whole ranking things because it's so subjective, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, because everybody has their opinion on this list, and everybody has opinions on other like lists, like, you know, greatest like bands or whatever it may be. I get why they did it to commemorate, but it's also like, come on,
Yeah.
Kobe really not top 5.
And the biggest shock to me was another little man named Shaquille O'Neal at 11.
Who?
super
I don't know
little
who
man.
that is.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Shaq at 11. The most dominant player of his time. Nobody could stop him. He was so big and so athletic.
I'm
The
surprised they
most
put him
dominant
over
player
Tim
of his
Duncan.
era. It's not even close.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that listen, I don't want to shit on Tim Duncan. I love Tim Duncan. Great guy.
Shaq's better than Tim Duncan. I'm
Shaq's
sorry.
better than Tim Duncan.
So who did they have at number 1?
MJ.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. but
LeBron was
Which-
2.
with how surprising this list is, you never know.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the biggest snub was Clay not being in the top 75. That's absurd.
Another shocking one was AI, all the way down at 31.
It's ridiculous.
The answer. D Wade at 30.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Chris
The second
Paul at 29.
D Wade, arguably the second or third best shooting guard of all time.
Mm-hmm. Scottie Pippen, 32.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just not
Steve
good.
Nash at 30. The more I read this list, the more I'm furious.
Who made this list?
It was a combination of players, coaches, and media people.
So they all just went through it, just
They
ranked
voted.
them, and then they just averaged them out on
Yeah.
who won what.
Probably.
Yeah, that's probably how they did it.
So I mean, if you're talking with players and coaches, though, they might have a different perspective, like on court, how they were with their teammates,
Yeah, but
all that kind of other stuff.
But like Steph Curry, 16, there has not been a single player in NBA history that has influenced the game of basketball more.
And as much as
Before Steph Curry, the average three-pointers taken per game by a team was like 12. It's up to like 26 now. Like, you live and die by the three-pointer. And he proved that you can, if you can make threes and you can make a lot of them, you're going to win championships. Like, there's not a single more influential player in the modern NBA than Stephen Curry.
And as much as like competition might get in the way of like, oh, I hate playing against this team or I hate playing against this like specific player, like players respect each other enough to like rank them how they should be ranked. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems crazy to me that like they would rank him so low.
Steph Curry's been way more influential to basketball than LeBron James. And it's not even up for debate.
Yeah, I agree. I think part of it might be because, I mean, he's still kind of young. He's going to be in the league for a long time, and so I think they're just kind of giving him time to.
What else does he have to prove, though?
Yeah,
I know.
He's already made
has nothing to
3,000 career threes. Nobody else has ever done that in the history of the NBA.
I know, and I agree with you, but I think they were ranking other people ahead of him because they knew that Steph would be there a while and have time to.
Because everyone else had a whole career in front of him,
Yeah.
and Stephen still does, so it's a little bit hard to rank him when he hasn't really finished his career yet. He's just starting.
There's a legit chance that he makes 4,000 three-pointers in the NBA by the time he retires.
Well, how many years has he been in the NBA?
I don't know, like 10?
Let me check.
Took him 10 years to get to 3,000?
That's a lot, dude. Nobody
No.
else in the history of the game has ever
No, I
shot
know, but
3,000.
10 years to get to 3,000, he only needs like 2 or 3 more years, and he's easily at 4. Like, if he's on pace at the same way he is right now, like, he's easily at 4,000 in a couple years.
I mean, yeah, he's had multiple seasons of 200-plus three-pointers.
Yeah.
Steph Curry has been in the NBA since 2009.
So 13 years.
That's way longer than I thought. I've never even heard that guy's name until 3 years ago, probably.
Wow.
I mean, I'm
much.
obviously out of the world, but
Dude, Ray Allen at 47, the second most three-pointers of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this makes my ass itch.
Wow.
They put James Harden in front of Reggie Miller. I can't with that. I'm
Wait.
Maybe you just
closing this out.
close the webpage
wait,
at this
I
point.
closed it.
Where did they put James Harden?
I think it's 50 and Reggie Miller at 51.
It's absurd. My God.
I couldn't do it anymore. I closed the list.
It's a tough list.
Are you serious?
Ugh. So bad.
Are you serious? Okay. The intern, Aaron Rodgers, completing a 12-day cleanse called Panchakarama, and he feels enlightened and full of gratitude. He put an interesting post out on Instagram today.
Yeah. So
Do you guys see it?
I did not
I
see
didn't
the
see it.
post, but I looked up this cleanse, Pancharma or Panchakarma, whatever you want to call that.
Panchakarma.
Huh?
What was that segment we used to have? Say what?
Say what? Yeah. It's coming up later.
So, anyways, I looked this up, and no, I don't. There might be different versions of this, but from the one I was reading, it's like 5 different stages, and each stage is like wild. Like the first one is like forced vomiting, and then you drink this weird drink that makes you have diarrhea, and you have like deep tissue massages every day. This just goes on for 12 days. And I didn't see the post that he sent out or whatever. I guess there was an interview where like
Is it the one
they
he posted
asked
on
him
Monday?
what he did,
Yeah.
and kind of what this cleanse does. But from what I was reading, this sounds super weird.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he had to do something to cope with his recent heartbreak.
But okay, I'm looking at the post right now, right? Him and I thought Shailene Woodley broke up.
They
No.
did.
She called off the engagement.
She did?
Yes. That's why I
what
said his
heard.
recent heartbreak.
So, but he posted 22 hours ago, so yesterday,
Yeah.
and so he thanks. He says like at Shailene Woodley, thanks for letting me chase you the first couple
Shailene
months.
Woodley.
Shailene. Fuck you. How about that? Thank you for showing me what unconditional love looks like. I love you and am grateful for you. And then there's just a bunch of pictures of him with like David Bakhtiari and the quarterback.
Uh-oh.
The quarterback.
Did we lose him?
The quarterback.
Wait for
The
it.
only quarterback. Oh, man. I think he's gone.
Sounds like Kanye needs to go on the Aaron Rodgers diet.
Yeah, no shit.
Apologizing to his wife
Yeah.
publicly.
And he needs to, feel enlightened and full of gratitude. Yeah. It was
Well-
interesting.
I don't know what's happening with Sherm. I really don't like looking at his face like that.
Oh, and it just ended.
And we lost him.
All right.
No.
Well, we'll just move on.
Keep it going. We'll try to get him back.
Yeah, we'll get him
Wait,
back.
something's loading on the screen.
Yeah, we'll get him back.
Oh.
Okay, Miles, you want to start off this say what?
Oh, I know what happened. Our internet cut out.
Oh, it's our internet?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Should we take a quick
Yikes.
intermission and fix it?
Well, I don't know how to just turn back on the internet.
I was just gonna connect your computer to like my hotspot or something.
Yeah.
connection's
Just
gonna
keep
suck.
her going. Keep her going.
All right.
All right, say what? So this is the segment where we find ridiculous names in the sporting world. My name that I found is Dewanna Boner. This is a girl in the women's NBA. She plays for Connecticut Sun. She's actually pretty good, but she needs to change her name for sure.
Yeah, it's not great, to say the
has
least.
The third best record for rebounds ever in the women's NBA.
What do you mean, like third most all time?
Most all-time
Oh,
rebounds.
I got you. Okay. That's pretty good. Mine is Destiny Hooker. It's just unfortunate. Why would you name your kid Destiny?
Destiny Hooker is one of the all-time greatest volleyball players on this entire planet, and I always felt so bad for her that she had that name.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate name. She's 34. She's from Germany, or she was born in Germany, but she's American. Interesting. And she plays in, it looks like China
Really?
right now. Yeah, she went to Texas.
Yeah, she played for Texas A&M and
Yeah.
had like an incredible season there. I met her once at a random volleyball tournament. She's one of the best volleyball players I've ever seen,
Yeah, she's also 6'4".
and
So-
has an insane vertical too.
I didn't get to see. I didn't look up how tall Dewanna Boner is, but I'm assuming she's pretty tall.
Yeah, I
She
bet.
plays basketball. All
Hey,
right, we got Sherm
We got
back.
Sherm back. Yay!
Hey,
Sherm, what's your say what?
Ivana Mandic.
That sounds very like Russian.
She is Yugoslavian.
Russian.
So
Eastern
Eastern
European.
European. She played at Daytona Beach Community College. And she helped lead her team to a runner-up finish at the Florida Junior College State Tournament in 2001.
What sport?
Yeah, I was gonna.
This
ask.
is a basketball.
Okay.
Basketball. She's 6'4". She's a tall drink of water.
So my woman is also 6'4".
Wow, look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Of course, you guys both like tall women.
Short kings.
Are we done with that? Does anybody else have to
the
go?
interns.
Well, the intern said Dick Trickle, but we've already used that before.
Well,
so-
I mean, we got to highlight. You got to make sure you cover that Dick Trickle.
Yeah, Dick Trickle. He's an old NASCAR guy, and I think personally one of the greatest sports names of all time.
I think if you flipped it around, it'd be a little better.
Trickle
Dick.
Dick. Trickle Dick.
Trickle Dick,
Trickle Richard.
Tricky Dicky.
Yeah.
Tricky Richie.
Well, here's a segment we haven't done in a while. This day in sports history.
Wow.
Who would like to start?
I feel like you should
My,
start.
my.
No, Sherm, you start. Yours is pretty outrageous.
Oh, okay. Well, I was looking at the list today and I thought I found one. I found a good one, which was, I think, the first organized baseball game was played on this day. But there's one that tops that. On this day, in 2019, Robert Kraft was charged with soliciting prostitution as a part of a human trafficking ring down in Jupiter, Florida.
Oh my God.
It's like you're so
when
excited
this
to
came
say
out,
that.
Yeah.
Well,
It was like
I
right
think-
before. No, it had to have been right after the Super Bowl.
No. It was. Well, when it came out, yes, but I think it happened.
It happened
literally
before the
morning-
Super. Yeah, before the Super Bowl. Yeah.
I think it happened the morning of the AFC Championship game.
Mm.
From what I remember, I think he flew down to Florida, got a rub and tug, and then flew to the game that day. Yeah. And
Why
the
did he
only
have to
reason
go
I say
all the
that-
way to Jupiter, Florida, to get a rub and tug? Like,
I don't know.
I'm
Maybe
sure.
we should send our Miami.
I'm sure there's rub and tugs in New England.
I think we should send our Miami correspondent down there. We're not soliciting.
How are you so sure?
Well, our Miami correspondent is actually experienced in this field, so
Oh my God. Okay, moving on.
you do got to think though that Florida's more the place for this, though.
Yeah, but
Compared to New England, that just sounds like such a respectful place. If you're trying to get dirty like that, you're going down to Florida.
dude,
You're going down south.
Boston is not a clean city.
No, you're
I
right.
mean, Jersey, you could go there, and I'm
Oh,
sure there's
exactly.
someone that you could just find on the beach.
Yeah, like
Well, maybe he's got like he's got a masseuse picked out. He's got his favorite. He's got to go see his
Well,
girl.
It's
Boston's
like a barber.
like-
You never cheat on your barber.
Yeah, exactly. You never cheat on your rub and tug masseuse either.
oh my God. Oh my God. Oh,
Boston's like LA. There's very nice areas and there's a lot of
yeah.
trash areas.
Okay, I
Right.
did Miracle on Ice. What was it? I guess it was 42 years ago today. The United States beat the Soviet Union in the most historic hockey game of all time. It was in the height of the Cold War, and that game had more meaning than just an Olympic semifinal game. I've always said for years and years that if I could pick one sporting event to go back to, I would pick that game to go back to because it was so insane. They took down the greatest hockey team ever assembled. And just, I mean, the movie is fantastic. It's my favorite sports movie of all time. And it's just it was a wonderful moment. And America, we beat those commies, those commie bastards.
The thing I love about that era of hockey, and we were talking about this the other day, I'm not sure if it's still the same, but all the kids on that team were young. They're college kids playing hockey.
Yep.
And they weren't in the NHL yet because back then, if you were in the NHL, you were not allowed to participate in the Olympics. So this was a very young team.
Why couldn't you be in the Olympics?
Because it was for amateurs.
The NHL was? It wasn't considered a professional league?
No, the Olympics were for amateurs.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they had college basketball players. And that's why like the dream team was like the first professional
Yeah.
basketball like all-star team that they had in the Olympics.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why they blew everybody up by 900 points.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, real quick, Taylor, we have definitely gone over our favorite sports event that you would like to go back to in history and our favorite sports movie, and I don't think you've ever brought up Miracle on Ice on this podcast before, to my knowledge.
That is a fucking lie.
You've definitely
a-
brought up the movie.
Is that a lie, Sherm? I just don't. I'm just not
When-
remembering.
When we were doing favorite sports movies with Coleman,
Yeah, you definitely talked about.
Okay, the movie might have
Miracle.
came up. I just feel like I haven't heard you're really going on about this, and I feel like I haven't really heard it be brought up that much. But sounds cool.
I'm trying to remember what we said when we were doing the was it the Christmas episode or the?
Well, there was
the
a
one
question
before
one
I
time that
left?
was like, if you go to any sports event, what would you go to? And I think you said a Ducks game, and
But
then
that
Taylor
was a
said,
specific. It wasn't a go back in history. It was a specific, and it wasn't a Ducks game either. It was like
It was a Seahawk game.
it was what's your best like. There was one that was like, what's your favorite like sports game that you've ever been to? What's like a recent sports game that you could go to or
like
something?
your like the favorite game you ever watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
since I didn't get to watch that game live.
yeah. I mean, obviously. But then I think there was also one that was like, if you could go to like any like rivalry game, what would it be? And like you said, like the whiteout, I think.
Yeah.
"Gotcha."
Yes.
Just
But,
looking for
yeah.
clarification here. I'm not
Yes.
trying to call you out.
He's
No,
definitely
that-
talked
yeah.
about the movie though.
Yes. That is of any sports game that has ever happened in the history of the world, that's the game I would go to.
This happened when? Cold War, like 50s?
It was the 80s. It was
80s?
1980.
I don't know
February
my-
22nd, 1980.
50s was the Korean War.
It was a chill 30
Yeah.
years off on
Nice
that.
try,
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah.
Lake Placid, New York. So,
More like Lake Flaccid.
R.I.P. Rich Brooks. Or, sorry, Herb Brooks, not Rich Brooks. So, all right.
Mama, what do you got?
So I'm taking us all the way back to 1958. John Conrads, he was an Australian swimmer, 15 years old today. Started his streak. He broke 6 world records in a row at the age of 15.
Big deal.
They were all freestyle strokes. So I think it was the 50 free, 100 free, 200 free, 500 free. Just keep going up. All freestyle. Kind of the Michael Phelps before Michael Phelps. This guy was insane. And yeah,
Yeah, 15 years old, break 6 world records in
That's
8 days.
Pretty
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
That's outrageous.
pretty crazy.
Was it during an Olympics?
No, he did go to the Olympics. His first Olympics, he was 14 years old.
That's insane.
But this streak was during one of UK's, I think it was UK. They did a big swim tournament. And yeah, he broke them in 8 days.
It's
Yeah.
impressive.
John Conrad's
Miles,
the stroke master.
You've done a lot of like lifeguarding and surfing and stuff, but have you ever done like swim competitions like when you were younger? Like, did you ever have to do a 200 meter or anything like that?
Yeah, so I hated swim. Swim was terrible. You basically practice, you just stare at the same black line for 2 hours, swimming laps back and forth.
The black line at the bottom of the pool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least, I wish it at least changed colors or something. But
LED light.
in high school, my water polo coach required us to also join the swim team just to stay in shape. And if you didn't, you couldn't be on the team next year. So I did swim all 4 years, water polo all 4 years.
What was harder, keeping up with swim or water polo? More physically
Swim.
demanding, I guess.
Swim. I mean, swim. We were going up against these club swimmers. That's all they do.
yeah.
Like they swim like 10,000 yards a day. It's ridiculous. And I'm just there to stay in shape so that I could play water polo next year.
I'm just trying to break some ankles underwater here. These people are doing laps around me.
My
Yeah.
friends had to do the same thing in high school. Like they had to be a part of swim team in order to play water polo, and they hated every second of
Well,
it.
the rest of us, our high schools didn't have swim teams because we have seasons. So.
Mine did.
Fuck me.
I
Then.
did.
Trevor,
You
sounds
guys
like
have
you're
an
the
indoor pool?
Both you guys, all you guys' high schools had a
not
swim
at our-
team.
Yes, not
Yeah.
at.
After high school.
We didn't have a pool at our
Yeah.
high school, but like they used the community pool.
We
and
had
they
a pool.
indoor
Yeah, we had a
pools.
pool
Okay.
at
Yeah.
our high school, but it was indoor.
We never had a
Okay,
pool at our school.
California.
Yeah, we
Okay,
never
shut
had
up.
a swim team or any sort of water aquatic team at all. We didn't even have a ski team, and we live near mountains though. It's kind of horseshit.
I had a snowboarding team.
Spokane public schools, man, gotta love them.
The intern on this day in sports history in 1893, all Alabama and Auburn play in the first Iron Bowl.
And Alabama lost. Yay!
Yay!
I wish we could say that
That's
more.
good.
Yeah, same.
How many times have
No kidding.
they lost that game since?
I don't know. It's a pretty
I'll
tight
look it up.
rivalry. Okay, we're gonna move on to quote of the day. I'm gonna start it off. This is a man, Art Donovan. He played for the Baltimore Colts way back in the day when the Baltimore Colts were actually a thing. And he was an offensive lineman, so he was a pretty, big human. And he said in an interview, "I'm a light eater. As soon as it's light, I start eating." And I love that.
That's a good one. Does he also paint? I mean, with that name.
Art Donovan.
Yeah, I like the name Art. Art's kind of
Donovan.
cool.
I don't
Art
think
is
so.
a cool name.
He was a big, aggressive man.
Do you think
That's
that's
played in
short
the
for
NFL.
anything? Like Art would be short
Arthur?
for
Arthur? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it could be. I don't know. The website I looked at just said art.
Art. All right, I'll go next. Tiger Woods says, hockey is a sport for white men, basketball is a sport for black men, and golf is a sport for white men dressed like pimps. Cancel that man.
I love it.
Wait, what year was that quote released?
I didn't write it down. I'm sure it said it, but
Let's get.
I want to know
canceled.
how recently he said that quote, because like
It's
maybe
gotta
10
be.
years ago, but if that was in the last like 2 or 3 years, it's like all
It
right,
definitely
dude.
was not in the last 2 or 3 years.
yeah, no way.
No.
Also,
No
Tiger
chance.
Woods isn't white.
That's why he can
Correct.
say
He's
it.
not. He is.
Oh.
He is Thai and African American.
Yeah.
The intern's quote of the day: "I should be a postage stamp. That's the only way I'll ever get licked." Muhammad Ali. That is a man with amazing quotes.
Yeah. That's one I've never heard
was-
before.
He was like such a showman too for the time. Like he transcended. I mean, obviously he transcended the sport of boxing, obviously for his ability, but
But from
he
like
was,
a
one of the
from
first-
an entertainment standpoint, though, he totally blew up
Right.
boxing as like something that people like the characters behind boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Like you see, like kind of the mold for you see like the boxers and UFC, fighters nowadays. Like he was kind of the first one of those entertainer.
Like
But also
Sugar Ray
was the
O'Malley
greatest.
wouldn't be dyeing his hair purple if it wasn't for Muhammad Ali.
No way.
Right.
Yeah, he started
Right.
it.
Yeah. And my quote of the day, this is a media personality on the Speed channel. His name is Bob Varsha. He said of F1 drivers, the drivers have 1 foot on the brake, 1 on the clutch, and 1 on the throttle.
Yeah, I mean, I always knew that you had to be a very special and talented individual to drive F1, but I did not know that you needed 3 feet.
So there's a term
Yeah.
in driving or racing. They call it like 3-toe or something. Where
Yeah, you put your heel on one.
Yeah,
You put your heel on one pedal and your toe on the other pedal, and you can hit 2 at once.
yeah. It's like the clutch and the brake at the same time, I think.
Yeah.
So that, and then you can downshift. I think they do it coming into turns.
Interesting.
That quote reminds me of who's that one football coach you guys always bring up pretty often that just has the most outrageous quotes of all
Is
time.
it Bob
That's like,
Green?
Bob Green.
I think it's Bob
Yeah.
Green, where he's like, "If you guys are thirsty, then drink more water," and like it'll just be something stupid like that.
Yeah.
That reminds me of one of those quotes. Seems like something he would
We're
say.
like third trombone in the school band. We got to play better. I think that's out. We're out of show.
We are at a show. Is there
Short one.
anything?
Oh,
Sherm,
we're
did
not
you-
out of show.
Sherm, did you hear about Tiller's fall last night?
No, but speaking of Tiller, we had a very special day yesterday
That we did.
because it was somebody's birthday. Yeah, it's nice.
Yes, it was. The big 2-4.
So
Should we go over some
exciting.
highlights over the weekend?
No.
We could do one. He fell down the stairs yesterday.
Yeah, I
very
fell
hard.
down the stairs last
Did he?
night. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, going
Those
to bed.
stairs are slippery.
But that wasn't an alcohol thing, though. That was just
He's blaming
No,
it on his
I was
socks.
pretty drunk.
oh, okay. When you
But-
first told me the story, you made it sound like you were just sober and just tripped.
No, I mean, I was just like walking. I just turned the lights off upstairs, and then I was walking downstairs, and my foot just slipped, and I slid about halfway down the stairs.
Well, you
Um,
know, some
on
other
your
people,
sheet?
some other people in this room took a little spill this weekend,
And
and
it
there was no
hurt.
stairs involved.
We don't
So-
have
True.
to talk about that.
Yeah, we don't have to bring it up, but
It's okay. But that doesn't need to be discussed.
But yes, it was a wonderful birthday weekend. Got to spend time with my parents. My friends made me a cake yesterday. It was very fun.
Nice.
And the best part, Sherman wasn't here.
Yay!
Because he likes to torture me on my birthdays.
That is such a load of shit.
It's not.
I've been so kind to you for the past like 2 birthdays.
there's torture, but it's also surrounded by a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not forget who spilled
kind
the
of-
AMF all over me.
It's kind of part of birthdays.
Yeah.
Should we go around the room and say one thing we hate about him and one thing we sort of like? Mama, you start.
I sort of like. I don't know. You go first.
Is there like? Do I have no redeeming qualities?
No, we're talking about things you don't
me-
like, and we can't think of anything.
Oh well, that's
All
good.
right, I guess I can start. Okay, so I have a list.
Okay,
let's see.
no.
Oh God.
I hate that. I hate you're an asshole.
Okay,
So
that's the one
that's-
thing. Next.
And then I also don't like a lot of stuff. That's what I have to say.
Okay.
I don't like his clothes.
Oh my god.
I don't like the sports teams he likes.
Okay.
I don't like how he calls me whore.
I don't like his dad's mustache all that too much.
Well, this
Oh my
isn't about my
God.
dad. Whoa.
I have something that I do like.
Mm,
I like that I was friends with him before I was friends with Sherman.
nice.
I liked Sherm's or Tiller's cute little Chewbacca costume he pulled out freshman year right when I met him.
Oh yeah.
And he went by Chewie for a really long time because of it, but he looked so goddamn cute in the little Predator outfit.
Chewy.
I like how much nicer it is to live in the house without Sherm there.
Mm.
This isn't about me. This is about Tiller's horrible qualities.
I like Tiller's beautiful eyelashes and blue eyes.
Yeah, that is the only good thing about him.
No.
I like everything about Tiller that makes him different from Sherm.
Okay, that's enough of that. That will conclude another spectacular episode of the Backburners. Shout out to the ugliest co-host of all time, Big Backwards Hat Guy, the front right burner, Miles, the intern, and our wonderful producer, Fabio. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok at the Backburners Pod, and listen to us on your favorite streaming service. We're the Backburners, and we'll catch you on the flippity flip.